right, we got beautiful clear blue skies across the area today. Check out this shot from the Sangre de Cristos. I've already shown this in the 4 o'clock hour, but it bears showing again. You can see a perfect shot of the Spanish Peaks. I want to remind you, this time last week, you would not have been able to see this far in front of you. We were contending with extremely poor air quality before that front pushed through that knocked our temperatures down about 55 degrees. Do you remember? I know we were all at the pool this weekend, you know, in our shorts and flip-flops, but my goodness, I mean, we did have a ferocious front last week, but I digress. What I'm trying to point at is that this shot and the beautiful clear blue skies, unfortunately, are going to have to go bye-bye for a little bit because we have got to return to upper level winds. Right now, you can kind of see those aloft across the Pacific Northwest. You see that fast-moving ribbon of air that kind of stretches across northern Montana, parts of the high plains, back to the arrowhead of Minnesota. That is transporting a lot of smoke towards parts of the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes. I mean, as far east as Erie, Pennsylvania, all the way back even into parts of the Northeast. So grabbing smoke from some of those area wildfires that are right down parts of the Cascades, the coastline, the coastal mountains down to northern California, and just depositing that smoke across parts of the upper Midwest. How that is going to change is going to mean we're going to return to more smoky skies with high pressure starting to meander west and pulling in some of that smoke by Tuesday afternoon and heading into Wednesday. So enjoy the clear blue skies right now. If you want to get out, soak up some vitamin D, do some hiking or biking or walking around the block this weekend or this week, as a matter of fact, today, then go ahead and do those things because especially if you suffer from sensitive respiratory issues, probably not going to have that opportunity by Wednesday and Thursday. We'll talk about that in just a few moments, but certainly looking at some gusty winds across the Palmer Divide right now. Nothing of consequence, but breezy conditions across Highway 24, and that will start to taper off about 8 o'clock this evening. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s, partly clear skies tonight, pretty quiet. We replace that with the same temperatures tomorrow. It'll be a little bit warmer in the Denver metro area, right about 90 degrees. In fact, Denver and Arapahoe County, those areas are actually trending well above average for this time of year, but most of southern Colorado is a little closer to average. We're not too far off the mark. Temperatures about 85 degrees for Colorado Springs on Tuesday and 75 there in Woodland Park. Upper 80s across Penrose, the Highway 50 area, the Wet Mountains in the 60s and 70s from Silver Cliff, West Cliff, some of those locations, and near 90 degrees across Highway 50. Here's the smoke and fire product that's a little bit more local, and you can kind of see while most of the southeastern plains and parts of the St. Louis Valley right along the interstate, we are contending with those beautiful blue skies, but you go north of Denver and you start to run into much thicker smoke. A high pressure that is keeping us under clear skies is going to slowly start to shift west, and that's going to shift our wind direction back out of the north and northwest as we move through Tuesday afternoon. So most of Tuesday is going to be fine, but by the afternoon hours, you're going to notice a light little haze on the horizon across Highway 24, and then unfortunately it gets much worse by Tuesday night and heading into Wednesday. Excuse me. Now, this is not quite as bad as what we had this time last week. We had more so that yellow color that you're seeing up across parts of Sterling, areas into Fort Collins. That's kind of how it was last week before that front pushed through, where we couldn't hardly even see the mountains. Even if you were in a monument, you could hardly see the mountains that close to you. But it is going to start to get worse by Thursday. So if you suffer from some of those sensitive respiratory issues, or maybe you just want to stay a little bit more on the healthy side, you can tell I have a little bit of a cold. I don't know if most of us are battling a cold this time of year. Probably best to limit your outdoor activity if at all possible. Temperatures are going to stay right in the low 70s for Woodland Park. In fact, it's going to be a pretty quiet forecast for the next several consecutive days. Overnight lows into the 40s and minimal chances for rain. A dry forecast ahead, so we could be talking about some high fire danger later this week, especially as those winds start to increase. 86 degrees for a high temperature in Canyon City on Tuesday, and temperatures steady in the 80s by Friday, so a brief little cool down in the low 80s, but not much change in terms of our temperatures. But the smoke will be something, unfortunately, that is going to return. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
From best breaking news coverage to the best weather coverage, News Channel 13 has been recognized by our peers for what we do every day.